Hola, minasan! Welcome back to another round of One Piece. Oh, last time, the last set of chapters, we got to see Arlong at his most sensitive as he watched all of his crew lay dead at the hands of Zolo. Zolo did a number on them and then went to full chill mode. He got a little help from Hachi and was sent to another part of the island, only to find out everybody was back at Arlong Park. So, but to see who is supposed to be quite possibly one of the most one of the most deadliest villains that Luffy and the crew would ever face, showed that level of care for his fallen crew is very very great writing. It's excellent writing, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, especially since it appears that Nami's sister Nojiko is in on Nami's plan to save the village, as opposed to the live action that went cliche. Oh, I didn't know you were against. I'm so sorry. I was angry at you. Trope. So it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on from here. So um. So let's not waste too much time and let's get reading. One Piece by H. Oda, Chapter 76, Sleep. Nami stood before Luffy and the crew with her power pole in hand, blood dripping off from her fingertips, the blood of Usopp, whom she stabbed in the belly with. They all looked out at her, shocked, wondering what's going on. And she said, why do you come here? To which Luffy replied, placing his head, what do you mean? He placed his hat on his head. You're our shipmate, dude. Came to get you. What a nuisance, Nami said, crossing her arms, without a care in the world. Shipmate, don't make me laugh. You're a bunch of pathetic misfits. And Luffy was shocked. He stood frozen still as Sanji screamed out, Nami! Nami! It's me! Don't you remember? Come back to us! And Zolo got in his face. You stay out of this. You'll complicate the story. So, love is always a hurricane, they argued. Johnny Johnny immediately pointed at Nami with his mouth wide open as a fly flew in. I'm telling you, this woman is a witch. In order to get her meat on some hidden treasure, she's joined Arlong's pirates. She butchers people like pigs. Ah! She was wrong from the start, Johnny continued. She made fools of us all, brothers. I saw this witch stab Brother Usopp to death with my own eyes. So what? She replied back with a heartless voice. You want to kill me? What? Right now, Arlong is out to kill Zoro and his crew because Zoro had to go and do something stupid. You may have monstrous powers, but you don't match for the real monster, she said. That's nothing to us. Where's Usopp? Zolo said. Usopp's feeding the fishes. Cut the crap. He charged right at her, but Sanji immediately kicked Zolo in the head. You're the one who'd better cut the crap. What kind of swordsman attacks a young lady, Zolo? Sanji said as he took a puff from his cigarette. Zolo replied, Stay out of this, you love-struck fool. After your humiliating defeat, it's no wonder you're in a foul mood. Sanji smiled. What? Hold your tongue, or I'll send your head flying. Try it! You can barely stand. Brothers! This is no time to be arguing, Johnny interfered. This is a catastrophe. He pleaded for them to stop. He's right. If you want to fight each other, then sell someone far away and do it. We don't like outsiders sticking their noses into our business. I only pretended to be a friend to get my hands on your loot. Now you're broke, so our friendship is finished. Take your boat back, find yourselves a navigator, and go look for your stupid One Piece, she said. Now get lost. I'm sick of the sight of you. Goodbye. Dude, Nami, Luffy said in shock as the entire crew stood quiet. And suddenly, Luffy's eyes rolled back and he collapsed on the ground. Oh, Brother Luffy! Johnny screamed out. Luffy suddenly Luffy placed his hands underneath his head like a pillow to the sound of doom. And he said, "Good night, dudes. I'm taking a nice long nap." "Good night!" Johnny screamed out. "Now in the middle of the road!" "Dude, I don't want to leave this island. Those fish heads don't scare me. I'm a little sleepy. I'm taking my beauty nap." Huh? Solo immediately slapped his forehead, and Sanji scowled angrily with his hands in his pocket. Nami screamed out, "Suit yourself, it's your funeral!" Oh my gosh, he really is doing it. Oh man. So, as Luffy took his beauty nap to the sound of honk, 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 dude, honk, honk, dude, Solo, Johnny, and Yosaku started making plans. "You guys aren't normal. That woman's evil. She murdered Brother Usopp. Now Arlong is looking for us." "Why should we stay here?" Yosaku said. "I'm with Johnny." "We've been shipmates for a short time, but our paths split here. I don't fancy being slaughtered by Arlong. No!" "Farewell, then," Solo said with his arms crossed. He looked the other way without saying anything to them. "We'll see you around." "Good luck, brothers." "Same to you." And Johnny and Yosaku left the scene with their heads intact. Meanwhile, back at the village, my gosh, Usopp, covered in total sweat, passed by every single villager just minding their own business, going about their daily life. He thought very carefully about what he experienced, his flashback. He thought, "If she was a witch to the core, she wouldn't have saved me." "Nami, you," he thought in his flashback. Oh. And from that moment, he felt her arm pressed into his belly. He saw the knife pierce her arm all the way through. Her blood spilled from her hand. "Ah, it's business. I had no choice," she said. As blood oozed down her hand, she spread it across his sash. "If Nami hadn't done what she did, Arlong would have killed me for sure." He paused for a minute. "That octopus man said he took Zolo to Coco Village. I've got to find Zolo. Wait, Zolo was looking for Arlong. Could he have gone to storm the Arlong Park?" So Usopp started running. "Darn!" And he left Coco Village to return to Arlong Park. "I gotta find Zolo. Please don't let Zolo get to Arlong Park before I find him. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. I can't afford to lose him. He's my shield. I gotta be protected from him. No!" Meanwhile, back at the beach, Sanji continued smoking his cigarette. As he rested his back on the tree, Solo just sitting quietly, looking out at the forest or along the shoreline. Luffy resumed his sleeping duties to the sound of "Honk, dude, honk." Sanji spoke. Yeah. Could Nami really have killed Usopp? I told her she wasn't really a witch woman. Maybe she decided to prove me wrong, he smirked. Witch woman? Hey, is that you, Solo? Usopp screamed from the distance. Great! Hey! You haven't gone to Alon Park yet. And just as Usopp jumped in to embrace his crewmates, he was struck on both sides by by Sanji's kick and Zolo's sheathed sword. Nami isn't a witch woman. Can't you do anything but kick? Oh, huh? And they both noticed. They struck Usopp in the face. They squished him, stretched his jaw out, left it wide open as more flies entered his throat. He's alive! Unless you just killed him. Meanwhile, back at the Tangerine Grove, there was the sound of a wham. Nojiko looked up as she was harvesting some tangerines, and she was hearing a lot of loud noise going on in there. She stepped into the house and found Nami with her face buried in her arms at the side of the table. Everything was trashed. The tables flipped over, the chairs upended, pots all over the floor, glass shattered.
Oh no. Wrecking the house again, Nami? What's wrong? Oh, nothing. I just need some rest. I've had it with your tantrums. Try resting without breaking things for a change. Why are you staring at that treasure map anyway?
Nojiko noticed the map on the table.
You promised you'd tell me everything, remember? Oh, something happened that made me mad, that's all. Oh, those guys? Just who are they?
Nojiko said with a smile. Nami lifted her head up, frustrated.
You'd met them? I met the captain. His story struck me as a little colorful.
And for the time, Nojiko explained everything to Nami.
Ah, I see. So those guys came to fetch you.
Nojiko said as Nami's bandaged hand pressed upon the map on the table. She was Nami was asleep with a blanket over her from such a long day.
No wonder you're in the wrecking mood. Shipmates? Friends?
Nami snored out loud.
For this girl, that's the most painful word there is.
She smiled. Back at the beach, Usopp laid injured in the arms of Luffy. Usopp, dude, did Nami do this to you? Why did she do this to you? Tell me, what did she do this to you? I'm gonna take care of her. I'll avenge you, dude. Explain to me. Well, actually, Sanji said, it was Zolo and me. He smiled. It was you. Zolo crossed his arms at Sanji. Usopp snapped out of it and saw Luffy. You okay? Yeah, dude. I'm here too, buddy. I'll get you for this, Sanji. But first, Nami. She saved my life. She's got some ulterior motive for being with those fishmen. That's what I think.
It's no use,
Nojiko said, approaching Luffy and the crew.
You'll never defeat Arlong.
Nojiko! Who's that dude? Nami's older sister. Nami's sister! Sanji smiled with hearts in his eyes. And and flushed with joy. No wonder she's beautiful! No use. How come? Nojiko planted her hands on her hip.
I'm asking you to leave and forget you were ever here. I'll explain everything, but you must leave this island. A Navy ship bitched?
It's from Navy Base 16. The people said as they stared at the tall ship with the number 16 emblazoned on it and Marine written on the bottom of the ship where it would be covered in water and barnacles. The crowd continued murmuring, looks like after what happened to Base 77 ship, the Navy decided to take action. Oh man, this guy.
Nyah, nyah, nyah. I am Captain Tajimi of Base 16. Where's Genzo, the head man of the Coco Village?
Let's see what I give Genzo. Huh. Why don't I have Genzo on here? Oh no, I don't have Genzo on here. Oh no, there he is, Mr. Genzo. Ah. Okay. I'm Genzo. You lack integrity.
Of course. Nyah, nyah, nyah. Where can I find the woman named Nami? Nyah, nyah, nyah. Nyah.
To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 77, The First Step Toward a Dream. I don't care, dude, Luffy said. I'm not interested in her past. He started walking away from everybody, not interested in hearing Nami's backstory. I'm going for a long walk, dudes. I'm gonna enjoy this sun. What? You really don't want to hear this? Nope. I'll pass. I'm not interested in sap stories.
Oh, what's with him?
Nojiko said, don't worry about him. He's quirky. You'll like him. We'll listen to your story. I'm all ears, though I doubt we'll learn much.
Especially since you're asleep?
Hey, you said you listen. Solo fell asleep, but taking another power nap, going with his the sound of his honk. Well, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Me too. Sanji smiled in glee at the sight of Nojiko, and Solo continued snoring. Luffy walked along and lost in his thoughts.
No wonder Nami's having a hard time. Oh, I must have dozed off. Nojiko, where did she go?
Nami lifted her head up and looked around. She saw a basket full of tangerines and stared at it.
Soon, Belmere. Soon I'll all return. Coco Village, the Tangerine Groves,
She thought to herself as she lifted up the map.
and my dream.
She looked at it very with a light smile on her face. She began hearing her own voice from her deep within her memories.
Ah, let me go. It's just one book. There are hundreds here.
Of course, Genzo said 8 years ago, as he held Nami up and by the scruff of her neck as she clutched onto a book that said Navigator. It's a bookstore. You silly kid. You lack integrity. But that doesn't give you the license to steal. How many times do I have to tell you?
Oh, really, Paul. We don't need it. We don't have money for books, meanie. More.
She stuck her tongue at us as the crowd around chuckled a bit at what they were seeing. Oh. Belmere. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can pull up my southern. Let's see, southern accent. Let's see here. Come on out. Nah, Genzo said, banging on the door. Your naughty kitten is at it again.
Stop it. Look. Manners. Stop shouting. What is it?
Belmere, Nami and Nojiko's foster mother, dressed in a checkered shirt with mace on it, and bell-bottom pants. Is that hair shaved or something? What is she? She got shaved hair? Huh. Interesting. With shaved hair.
Hello, Nami. Hello, Belmere.
This is serious, child. Do you want to go to juvie? I'll put you in the juve cubes. Just like Judge Dredd. You have to stop this. How many times is this now? She's getting a reputation in the village. You want her to be a vagabond?
That'll be it. She's just a kid. Haven't you ever stolen anything, Mr. Gensel?
No. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And stop putting things on my head. You're the reason she's like this.
You paid for the book, right? Thanks. I'm flight broke right now, but I'll pay you back later. Kisses. Chill.
It's not about the money. It's about integrity, law, order. Dang it, child. Straighten your act.
Your face is purple. May the good Lord take care of you. I'm sorry, Belmere. I had to have this book. It's got all kinds of cool maps and such. If you wanted it, why didn't you tell me? You're clumsy, Nami. If I'd stolen it, I wouldn't have got caught.
Nojiko from 8 years ago.
We do not steal. I was just kidding. But you couldn't buy it for me, Belmere. I could. I could. I have enough in my secret stash for a book. It's just that. It's just that the weather's been so good that all the groves are full of tangerines. They're awful hard to sell right now. Understand? Yeah.
Belmere looked at the map as Nojiko read through the book on navigation. Belmere spoke.
Map of the island. I know you could draw open ocean charts, but I've learned to draw land maps too. What a clever girl. I'm studying navigation. That's your dream, huh? Yeah. Someday I'm gonna navigate my way all around the seas. Even when I've seen everything with my own eyes, I'm gonna make a map of the whole world. Oh, a map of the world. That's wonderful. Then this map of the island you drew today is the first step toward your dream. Belmere, you're not in it again, aren't you? I'm eating tangerines, ain't I? But this is Pet Farms after all. I'm just on the diet right now. Fine. I won't eat either.
Nojiko said, and she pushed her plate forward.
Now don't you start. Children have to eat. You're lying. You're not eating because we can't afford enough food. Really, Belmere? I'm on a diet. Don't underestimate the beautifying effects of nature of tangerines. They're God's fruit, you two. I'm 30 years old now. But thanks to tangerines, I have the skin of a 19-year-old. But your hands are orange. Shut up and eat.
She presented Nami with a skirt that says "I'm a lion" on it.
Look. It's done, Nami. High fashion, Belmere style. Another hand-me-down from Nojiko. It can't be helped. You're 2 years younger than me. Plus, that lion used to be sunflowers. I want new clothes too. Mine aren't new, and which would you would have new clothes or food. All right, girls, I'm off to Tangerine Gold. We're not even real sisters. We're not even related by blood. Well, I don't like being sisters any more than you do. Nami!
Belmere slapped the god into her for saying that, to the shock of Nojiko, much to the approval of many parents out there. when an incorrigible little brat gets out of line.
Oh, Belmere. So what if you're not blood related? What difference does it make? Don't ever say such foolish things again. Oh, you're not my real mother either, Belmere. You'd be better off without us. When you had then you'd had enough to eat, and you could buy nice clothes for yourselves. You'd be free. I wish I'd been found by rich people.
Belmere went full silence. She turned around with her arms crossed. She took a long puff of her cigarette.
I see. Well, suit yourself. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. But if this was Petro Farms, you'd be slapped all over the place. If you hate this home so much, then go somewhere else. Stop it, you two!
Nojiko screamed out to keep them from fighting, but it was too late. Nami stormed out of the house, stomping on her feet. She kicked the door open and walked out.
Oh, I'm leaving. Nami! Nami!
Belmere sat down very quietly, and Nojiko got right in her face.
Belmere, Nami didn't mean it. She was just upset. Huh? You said he wasn't, Nojiko. That was childish of me.
Belmere placed her hand on Nojiko and patted her head.
Will you go bring back Nami? I'll have a nice dinner waiting. Okay.
In town, as everyone went about their daily lives, all happy and working hard in Coco Village, Nami sat before Mr. Genzo, to which he leaned back and crossed his arms. So you came here.
Ah, that's right. I ran away from home.
All the way from the outskirts of the center to the center of the village? What a journey. Oh, children, you're so dumb.
Ah, Belmere would be happy without us.
You think so?
Main reason she's poor, and the villagers get mad at her because of me.
Starting to understand consequences, eh? You're starting to grow up, child. You're glad to see that little slap mark. You deserve it. Children like you need to be straightened out. Don't you worry. When Belmere was your age, she was the terror of the village.
What? Belmere?
Sure. And in the minds of some of the villagers, she's still a bad kid, despite the fact that she's a grown woman and taking care of 2 children like you. But when Belmere ran away from here and came back a fighting sailor, oh, she surprised the whole village in so many ways.
A fighting sailor?
I'll never forget it. It was a terrible storm.
Genzo began his flashback within Nami's flashback. And in his flashback within Nami's flashback, it was a rainstorm. A boat sailed in. Everyone had umbrellas on. The crowd screamed out,
Hey, Belmere's back. She's carrying a couple of kids. Get the doctor. They're burning up with fever. They're cold and sick. The good Lord's gonna take them. Hurry, help. I've got him. Belmere. You're hurt bad. Don't worry about me. Please, just save the children. Save them.
she said with tears flying out of her eyes. She screamed with tears flying out of her eyes while the townspeople tended to her and carried the children off to a hospital.
You were just a baby, and Nojiko was 3 years old.
Oh, me? But I thought I was found at a bridge.
Oh, if only that were true and simple. That was Belmere's story, kid. But she told me she'd been left for dead on a battlefield. She got wounds like no other. She was about to close her eyes and die when Nojiko came along carrying you. Your sister.
Oh, your sister? She's laughing.
And there Belmere stared at the infant Nami, just laughing and giggling.
She has no idea of the suffering around her. Of the suffering around her.
Hmm. Nojiko. Nojiko chuckled a bit as she listened to Nami. As she listened to Nami's innocent laughter, and tears completely flooded her eyes and poured down.
So she decided to live.
Genzo finished his flashback within Nami's flashback, catching Nami's attention.
The bond between you three is deeper than blood. You needed a mother. You both needed a mother. And that's what Belmir is. Your mother.
Nami, there you are.
Nojiko stood at the door at the entrance of Genzo's office.
Now go home. Your escort's here, kid. Just try and be good for once. You got yourself a happy home, good village, and plenty of food to go around.
Pirates! The town crier screamed out, "It's Arlong!" The crowd started screaming, "Arlong! Oh my god, help us!" And there was a giant ship docking at the edge of the beach. It had the shape. Let's see. Its bow had had a sawfish blade, sawfish head, and its sharkfish. Jolly Roger flapped in the wind. There was a loud laughter.
Wah, 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 wah. The woman's ritual. Ah, the
The rumors were true. The fishermen pirates. Oh, the rumors are. Oh, that's the crowd screaming. Okay, the rumors are true. The fishermen pirates of the Grand Line have split up, and the band of them are here.
Nami, Nachiko. It's dangerous here. Run and hide in the woods.
but Belmir's at home.
Hello, human scum. As of this moment, this village, this whole island, is under our rule.
And there stood Arlong with his pirate crew, swords brandished, arms wide open in a terrifying embrace. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 78, Belmia. Mommy's flashback continued. There was a pirate crew of fishermen, all lined up, arms crossed with weapons at the ready. Arlong stood in the middle of the street as the crowd shivered before everybody. 100,000 berries ahead for the grown folk, 50,000 for the brats. Remember, only kill the ones that can't pay this time. How much did we get, mate? He smiled and looked over at Chu. Is that Chu? Yeah, Chu. Good. I can't take this anymore. If they extort that much from us every month, the townsperson said to the crowd, we won't be able to live.
Endure it for now. At least they haven't killed anyone yet.
In the forest, Nojiko and Nami watched on.
What should we do, Nojiko? Do you think Belmir's safe? Yeah, she'll be alright. They won't find our house. You can't see it from the village.
Meanwhile, Genjo scanned the village and took track of who was with him.
They've rounded up the whole village. If we could pay them off, we should consider ourselves lucky. I just hope they don't notice Belmir's house. She doesn't have 200,000 berry for herself and the girls, he thought.
All right, Arlong said, pointing his fingers up in the air. Let's go, fishmen. And they all started walking away. Genzo breathed a sigh of relief. The girls looked at each other, smiling that it was over. But suddenly, one of the crew walked up. Oh, a little house on the outskirts of the village. What? Darn, Genzo thought. The crowd was in horror. The girl screamed out, Bellman! And there she was in the house, unaware of everything that was happening, cooking dinner for the girls. Oh, we almost missed it. Belmere tasted the food. She smiled.
Just right. Nothing beats my special tangerine sauce. 10 more minutes in the oven for the duck. The vegetables are ready. The stew's bubbling. All that's left is the rice. And now I just about broke.
She said as she took another puff of her smoke. She crouched down and grabbed a bottle of wine, a bottle of alcohol, with a smile on her face.
But since I'm splurging, might as well serve sake too.
Did you find the ocean charts?
Arlong said to Kurobi.
They're all in the houses. This village is holding out. Indeed.
Back in town, the town's back in the village, the townspeople gathered around.
Uh-oh, the pirates are going to Belmere's house.
She doesn't have enough money. What's me do?
This is bad, Doctor.
Hanzo said, running to Genzo said, running to the doctor.
Where are the girls, Genzo? They were supposed to be hiding in the woods, but they aren't. I bet they're headed for home.
Oh no! We've got to stop them. And there was a knock on the door.
Oh, they're home, huh?
She looked back, and she sensed something. She realized it wasn't the children, for they were still running through the forest, heading home.
Nautical, hurry! I know.
Meanwhile, outside, Arlong examined the door, and he saw that it was open.
It's open. Come on in. Excuse me. Huh?
As he opened the door and saw what was about to happen, as he opened the door to the sound of woo, Belmere delivered a rockin' awesome a roundhouse kick to the face. With the rifle in hand, she aimed it right at the fishmen, and plunged it deep down Arlong's mouth. She had him dead to rights as she sat on his chest.
Our luck. I was fighting a sailor. You're a pirate from the Grand Line, eh? Well,
She said as she pressed the barrel of the cannon further down.
Coco Village is a long way from here. From there. What do you want?
Ooh. All the fishermen stood in silence, and they started laughing out loud as they had her surrounded.
Why did this have to happen?
Genzo said as he ran as fast as he could. And wow. Belmere screamed out,
What's so funny?
and suddenly Arlong chomped his teeth in and shattered the barrel into pieces.
What?
You puny humans! West Wank is no joke!
He said with a mouthful of gun. Everybody was approaching the house. Nojiko saw it in the distance.
Get to the back door. We'll get Bellman and escape. But the pirates are probably already there, so it'll hot.
And the doctor stood right in front of them.
Wait, you can't go home.
Doctor!
I hate to have to tell you this, but you've got to listen.
And that's when they heard a loud scream.
Bellman!
And there she was, screaming once again as Arlong completely and totally crushed her arm and caused blood to splatter out all over the floor.
It's no use. They're monsters. They're going to kill me. Nojiko, Nami.
Belmere, don't be a fool. Don't throw your wife away for pride. Some fights are hopeless.
Wait, who's screaming? Oh no, what's going on here? Who's screaming? Okay, okay, I see. All right. Arlong stood tall as he pressed into Nojiko's broken arm, with his hands on his hip, looking all debonair and special. Genzo stood in the distance and screamed out to her,
Belmere, don't be a fool. Don't throw your life away for pride and integrity. Some fights are hopeless. Some problems are better solved with money. Give him the money.
Genzo,
she said.
He white, soldier woman,
Arlong said as he towered over her.
We want 100,000 berries for each adult and 50,000 for each child. Pay up and we can live.
He released her, and Genzo held her up in his arms.
money for my family.
Belmere, how much do you have?
He whispered to her.
Not enough.
She said back.
Even with my secret savings, a little over 100,000.
Long, Hachi said, with all of his fingers pointing and holding the 3 sign up. Genzo stood up to his feet.
Come now, Belmere, just pay the amount for one adult. You invited me and the doctor for dinner, didn't you? The food's getting cold.
Mr. Genzo.
Just be glad you had enough money. Now everyone in the village is safe.
Tues said.
That's one thing. Oh, why? It's 100 berries then. Pay up or die.
Arlong said. Understand now what you call Nami? The townspeople spoke. There's no proof that you're Belmere's children. You have to free the island before they find out about you. The doctor said. Cross the ocean to somewhere far, far away. It's the only way to save the 3 of you. Nami's tears welled up in her eyes.
Oh, but I don't want to go. I want to keep living here. It's because we part, isn't it? That's why we can't be Belmere kids anymore.
Doctor, this is foolhardy, the villager said. We can't send these little girls out to sea. They'll die. Maybe, but they'll sure die if they stay here. There's no time to be sentimental.
The town's villagers struggled to get the kids off. Back at the house, Belmere agreed.
All right. That's 100,000 badass.
Nojiko screamed out.
I'll leave. I'll go. I'll get out of the island. Oh, Nojiko.
Meanwhile, Belmere smiled with taking a puff from her cigarette.
All right. It's for the best. Belmere. Let's go, Nami. It's all right. Belmere's alive.
And then Arlong stopped.
That 100 berries is for 2 kids.
For my daughters. That's all I got.
And everyone was shocked at what she said.
Belmere.
Oh.
Arlong looked back to the sound of ooh in the background.
Huh?
Sorry, Genzo. I just can't say I don't have children. Belmere. Even if it costs me my life.
The girls watched on as tears fell down their faces.
That foolish woman,
The doctor screamed out as she wiped her tears away, taking one last puff of smoke.
They're as much as mine as if I gave birth to them. Those 2 are my children. They're my blessings.
You've got kids?
The fisherman turned around as the girls ran.
Ah, Batman!
Girls, no! The doctor reached out, trying to stop them.
I wish I'd been found by rich people.
Nami's flashback within a flashback within the flashback. Noted.
I didn't mean it. Bellamere.
And the girls immediately pounced on Belmere, and they tightened their hug around her,
Nami, logical.
and they started crying as hard as they can, as Nami was covered in in Belmere's bloody arm. She took another puff, a nice long puff of the cigarette.
I wanted to buy you lots of nice things. Books and clothes and good food. Bring the good Lord to your name, too. I'm sorry I couldn't do better. I'm sorry I wasn't a good mother to you. Ah, that's not true. Don't die, Belmere.
Nami screamed out.
Yeah, stay with us.
Nojiko agreed.
You're a soldier, right? You're strong. You can beat them. You'll have to see my world map when I draw it.
These are your kids?
Arlong said as he approached them.
That's right. Don't die.
Nami screamed out.
You won't harm them, right?
None of you die quietly.
Somebody help.
No.
Genzo screamed out as he fired his bullets, but they were blocked off by Chu, and Chu sliced Genzo in the face. Ugh. Now he watched in horror. Say, Belmere, get your weapons, fight! The townspeople screamed out in the distance, brandishing weapons.
Oh, they were just a bunch of worthless monkeys. Deal with them accordingly, but don't kill them.
Aye, 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 the fishermen said as they head off to deal with the villagers.
You shall be our first example. Die with your foolish love.
Arlong pressed the gun right on Belmere's forehead. She looked out. She stared Arlong right in the eyes and said,
Logical. Nami.
as she screamed their names. They watched on in shock as the townspeople clashed their swords and weapons with the fishermen pirates, and that's when they heard her one last time.
I love you.
And she took one last puff of her cigarette, and the sound of the gun fired. 3 shots, boom, 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 one right after the other. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 79. To Live. Flashback within a flashback within a flashback within a flashback. Genzo stood before Belmere with an infant Nami in her arms and a sad Nojiko in the other. He said,
What'd you just say?
he fixed his hat.
But you're a mercenary.
I'll be these girls' mothers.
She said with a smile on her face as she was covered in bandages and recovering from her injuries. Impossible! It's insane! They'd be better off in a government orphanage! The townspeople screamed out.
Shut up. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna raise these girls like the good Lord wants. I'm a good old woman now. I've been to sea and to war. I think I can handle a couple of kids, even if they are little tears. I'll take good care of them. I'll raise them to be good, strong people who can handle themselves even in this harsh world. You'll see. They're gonna enjoy all the tangerines, and I'll be great, and I'll be redeeming myself in the good eyes.
Oh, that's a nice panel. Ooh, man, Usopp with the gun. Nice. Of course, Luffy with the food. Pretty cool. Oh my gosh. So in the flashback, within the flashback, within the flashback, within the flashback, there was Genzo carrying Nami off by the scruff of the neck. You're incorrigible, you little thief.
Oh, let me go. I'll pay you back with kisses.
Don't pick up her habits.
Did you two make the boys cry again? They made us mad. Blah.
The girls stuck their tongue out at the other boys.
Oh, it's all right.
The woman said.
It was just a little scruffle.
Nami oh wow, what's going on here? Oh, okay. The boy more boys started running away as Nami said.
Oh, they said their tangerines taste like crap. What?
Ryan, little Ryan! Belmere carrying tangerines with Nojiko and Nami.
Nojiko, Nami, don't ever lose to anyone. Girls have to be strong too.
They smiled. She smiled back as they pointed a tangerine, a good tangerine. Wow. And then the flashback within the original flashback continued as Belmere's final as Belmere's words echoed in the girls' heads.
Whatever happens, don't curse the age you were born into.
She said as the blunderbuss smoldered with the smoke, and she started falling down to the ground.
Don't worry about what anyone says.
Her blood sprayed all over the place as she smiled.
And whatever happens, never lose your ability to laugh.
Nojiko was covered in tears.
If you can survive, then happy times.
And as her cigarette landed into her puddle of blood, it fizzled out.
Lots of them will come your way.
And Nami's tears completely soaked her face. And the crowd screamed, Belmere! Wah! And Arlong laughed his loudest laugh. Any of my subjects who can't pay must die. Got that, you miserable humans? Arlong said, standing over the corpses of the villagers who failed to fight back against the fishmen. Hachi stepped out of the house, holding maps in his hands. Ocean thoughts to burn his halls. Huh?
Ugh, give me back. Those are my charts. I drew them. I'm going to use them to sail the seas. They're mine. Nami!
Nojiko screamed out, reaching out to her.
Stay away from them.
Arlong looked at the map and the charts. Well, I'll be. These excellent charts were drawn by a kid. And Nami stood in place. That's a valuable skill. Bring her along, Hachi. Hachi grabbed, grabbed Nami by the neck as Nojiko struggled to kick Hachi in the butt.
Nah, let go. Let Nami go, you.
Hold it. Hold it.
And there was Genzo, sword in hand, veins bulging out of his muscles.
You received payment for her, right? You said you wouldn't harm these kids.
I won't harm her, Arlong said. I'm just bowing me whore.
Mr. Genzo, help me.
Nami screamed out with all her heart.
Leave that girl here.
Kurobi. Kurobi sliced Genzo multiple times in the face.
Mr. Genzo.
And he held his footing. He lifted his head up despite the blood spilling out of his face.
I'll save you, Nami.
Ooh, the crowd screamed out. And the townspeople got up to their feet. We won't let you take her. Let her go.
Ah, stop it. It's okay. Don't try to help me. Please, I don't want anyone else to get hurt. I don't want anyone else to die. Don't let that be on my conscience. I'm too young to be traumatized as it is.
Not too rough. There are cash cows. And the fishmen and the villagers fought once more. Nojiko crouched down, covering her ears and closing her eyes. The sound of woo continued as every single villager fell to the ground. There was nothing but chaos and destruction left behind. The doctor, now covered in bandages, stood before Mr. Genzo. They sank all of our boats, he said. Our plan to have Nami and Nojiko escape to sea was folly, and the Navy isn't doing anything about this problem as usual. This island is under Harlong's rule now. Belmir knew. She knew there was no way we could free ourselves of them. That we had to obey them or die. Then they took Nami. Meanwhile, there was Nojiko by herself. Belmir dead. Nami kidnapped. And all she could do was sit on her knees in tears and asked,
What should I do?
The townspeople gathered around. We've discovered where Arlong and his crew are, one of them said. It looks like they're going to settle on this island. This is a decisive moment. The doctor screamed out, Fight now and die with pride, or be ruled by devils who could kill us at any time, and I hope that someday the Navy will rescue us somehow. No. The only legitimate military power strong enough to take them on is the Navy of the Grand Line, Genzo said, as his pinwheel continued spinning off his hat. And it has its hands full. They'll never come to a tiny far-flung village like ours. We lost. But I can't abandon Nami. I'll fight. Because I got some integrity still. Me too. I wouldn't abandon the child just so I could live. Well, if one person fights him, then we'll all have to fight him. I'll kill every one of them if he kills them too. The town's villagers roared and cheered, ready to take up arms until one of them looked back and saw someone approaching. Nami! It's Nami! You're safe! Thank goodness!
Nami!
And there she stood before them, shivering, her eyes glazed out into the glazed out in a stare, a light smile, her whole body shivering. She whispered,
I'm Johnny Narlock's crew. I'm gonna be their navigator and draw maps for them.
Nojiko was shocked. The townspeople spoke. What are you saying, Nami? Do you have a fever? Hey, kid. Did they do something to you? Something terrible. Genzo planted his hands on her shoulder and crouched before her to check to make sure she was okay. She shook her head.
No.
Did they threaten you? Is that it? Tell us.
No.
Nami!
Let go.
And that's when his eyes were in shock. That's the mark of Arlong's pirates. She revealed the tattoo they branded her with. Oh no.
Nami, look.
She presented them a wad of cash.
They gave me this money. They said they'll pay me anything I want.
Jeez Louise, man. This is... Oh my gosh, this is way worse than the live action. Oh my gosh, this is way worse than what I saw in live action. Jeez, man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, Oda really captured this. Oh my gosh. This is wow. Wow, man. You almost want to, man. This is just looking at this panel. Jeez Louise, man. Oh my gosh. Nojiko tackled Nami and screamed out,
Nami, no, I won't let you. I won't let you become a pirate. Don't you know what they are? Oh, I don't care. Bellemere tried to live a decent life and she got killed for it. I don't want to be decent.
and the crowd listened on. This is way freaking better than what they did in the live action. What the heck was what the heck, man? This is way better. Why didn't they keep this? Oh my gosh. What the heck were they thinking? I chose to join the pirate in secret, and the town villagers misunderstand my situation and what I'm doing. Cliche. You replaced this with that cliche in the live action. This is way better. This is awesome. This is phenomenal writing. Oh my gosh, this is a travesty. Oh man.
What are you saying? Bellemere died for us.
Nojiko said.
She sacrificed her life for us. How can you?
To which Genzo said, "Forget it, Nojiko. Go, Nami. I never set foot in this village again."
Ah.
Nami ran. Nojiko was in shock.
Nami.
What stupidity, Genzo said. She doesn't even consider Bellemere to be her mother.
That's not true.
Nojiko said.
Nami loved Bellemere.
Nojiko found her sister sitting before Bellemere's grave,
Nami.
and she listened on. Okay. And Nami replied.
Oh, Nojiko. Bellemere used to say, huh?
Nojiko listened on.
If you could just survive, someday lots of good times would come your way. Yeah, she did say that. After I was taken to the ship, five Navy ships came to capture Arlong. He sank them all. I don't think the Navy will be sending any more ships to save us. And if they do, Arlong will seek them too. So it's up to us to help ourselves. Buy back the village for 100 million berries? Yes, but I have to join the pirates and draw maps for them. People work their whole lives and never make that much money. I know, but I have to do it. It's all the villagers can do to pay the tribute. And if I go to anyone for help, they'll just get hurt. I won't let that happen again. I don't want them to die like Bellemere. But
Nojiko said.
Won't it be hard to work for the fiends who killed Bellemere? I don't care. I just look at them and laugh.
And she smiled with tears welled up in her eyes.
I'm not gonna cry anymore. I've decided to fight on alone.
To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 80. A Thief is a Thief. It is now the present. Nojiko finished telling the whole story to Zolo and to Usopp and Sanji, as Zolo continued sleeping without a care in the world.
Ever since that day, 8 years ago,
Nojiko said.
No one has seen Nami shed a tear, and she's never asked anyone for help.
She crossed her arms. Her eyes showed sadness.
She doesn't want anyone else to get killed by Arlong like our mother was. Nami was only 10 years old, but she refused to give in to despair. She resolved to live. Can you understand what a painful choice that was for her at that age? As a kid? Fighting the trauma? Oh, so to make enough money to save the village,
Usopp said as he flicked his nose with his thumb.
She joined the crew of the very creature who killed her mother.
Sanji threw his arms up into the air in anger. That villain made my darling Nami suffer. I, Sanji, shall beat him to death.
Would you be serious for a minute?
Nojiko bonked Sanji in the head as Zolo continued snoring in his nap. Snore.
I came to ask you not to do that.
Nojiko said.
If you keep raving about Nami being your darling, the pirates will get suspicious and all of Nami's efforts will be undone. Have a little sense of world view here. Don't cause her any more pain. The girl fights alone. To her, the most painful word of all is friend, because she has none.
The flashback continues. New flashback.
Nobody will find it here. Bit by bit, I'll squirrel away money in this treasure box until I have 100 million berries. Nami, you're going to rob pirates? That's right. We live in the age of pirates. I may as well take the most of that. Make the most of that. Nami, that's a terrible wound. What happened? I got a bit careless. But look, I have 1 million berries. Nami, we have to get you to a doctor right away. It's a long road ahead. Still 99 million berries to go.
Nami's memories came to an end, and she found herself back in the present, surrounded by a destroyed house that she caused. She stared at the map and thought to herself,
It was a long road, but now there are only 7 million berries to go. I should be able to get that much in one more voyage. Just one more voyage and our lives will be our own again. And all my suffering would be paid off. We'll be free of all long at last.
she said as she pressed her wounded hand on her head and covered her face with her hair.
And then Belmere, I'll be able to laugh from my heart again.
She smiled as she resisted her tears. The winds rustled to the sound of wisp, wisp, wisp. There was Luffy casually walking through Cocoa Village as the townspeople looked at the road down the street. Luffy stopped and saw what everyone was looking at. It was Genzo, accompanied by Nezumi and the Marines. He was shocked.
What does the Navy want with Nami?
Genzo said.
Just take me to her.
Everyone watched on very quietly as Genzo escorted everyone. Luffy looked on, very curious.
Dude, how come that guy has a pinwheel on his head? Is all he thought. That's totally righteous.
Oh, Luffy. We got a crisis here and all we could think about is the pinwheel. Oh, man. Back at the Tangerine Grove, Nami looked up into the sky. She let out a light smile.
I guess I'll go. Just one more job.
And she heard the footsteps approaching her.
Mr. Genzo was some Navy man. I'm Captain Nezumi of Navy Base 16.
He said as he stopped Genzo and the Marines from walking. He approached her very quietly.
Are you Nami, the thief? Criminal. Well, yes, I'm a pirate. I'm an officer of Arlong's crew. As an officer yourself, I'm sure you know,
she said with a smirk.
But if you lay a finger on me, Arlong won't be pleased. What do you want? I don't quite understand. You're a pirate. I understand. I haven't heard anything about that. I won't lay a finger on you, but I've received word that you're a thief. Huh? My source says you rob pirates of their treasure. Since your target pirates, it's an unusual case. Hey, Mo. But a thief is a thief. That loot belongs to the people it was originally stolen from. Therefore, you must surrender it to us, the government. What? Let me make myself perfectly clear. Hand over the treasure.
And the Marines barged in.
Find the loot.
Yes, sir. Wait, you can't just barge into... Oh, wait. Nami screamed out.
Wait, you can't just barge into people's homes. Stop.
She extended her power pole and whacked the Marine in the back and a couple others in the head.
Right, is this how the Navy operates? Don't they have anything better to do? Arlong's crew has murdered hundreds and destroyed whole villages. He's to save everyone on this island. Are you going to ignore those atrocities and seize the loot for one petty thief? Is that how the government works?
She screamed out.
Nyah, 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 nyah. Watch your mouth, criminal. Never mind her. Keep searching. Ah, everyone on this island have been waiting for you to liberate them. How can you abandon them and do this? Hey, Mo, what you got?
Captain, maybe she buried in this orchid.
Then dig it up. Ah, don't you touch Belmir's tangerine grove.
She screamed down and slapped the Marine in the face with her power pole. Ugh!
I'll never let you take my money. That money is...
Oh. And Genzo screamed out.
Her money is going to save Coco Village. You have no right to confiscate it, Navy man.
Oh, what's this? Nyah, nyah, nyah. A village headman defined the Navy? Oh, Mr. Genzo, how did you know?
I knew, Nami.
He said as the pinwheel spun on his head.
We couldn't believe you would just join Arlong just for the money. So we pressed Nojiko. We tortured her a bit, we tickled her foot, we stretched her arms out until they dislocated, until she admitted to the truth. Everyone in the village knows what you're doing. But we didn't want you to feel you couldn't give up and flee, because you knew we were counting on you. So we pretended we didn't know.
Oh, but... What's this nonsense? Are you saying that everyone in the village is a thief? Perhaps I should arrest all of you then.
Ah, and Nojiko arrived. Nojiko arrived and caught everyone's attention.
He's saying that because we can't depend on you people. We have to fight for ourselves. What do you mean, you people? Oh, Nojiko. If you're not going to save this village, then get the heck out of here. If you linger here, Arlong will have your ship. Arlong? I don't think that very much. Huh? You still haven't found it? It's not a grain of rice, you know. It's 100 million berries. But it's possible for you not to find it.
How do you know how much she has?
Huh? What? Lucky guess. Oh, could it be?
She she heard Arlong's laugh in her thoughts, and put it all together.
Oh, did Arlong send you here?
She screamed out.
That's absurd. We are simply confiscating stolen property from a thief.
You run, weasel.
Has the Navy lowered itself to serve a pirate?
Nojiko screamed out.
Arlong?
And suddenly the Navy aimed their guns at all of them.
Disperse them. They're impeding the surge.
Aye, aye, sir. And they pulled the hammer back and fired their shots. Oh, wow. Nojiko collapsed on the ground with bullet wounds.
Oh, Nojiko.
She screamed out as her sister, as Genzo tended to her. Hey, we heard gunshots. What happened, Genzo? We heard gunshots. The villagers immediately ran in the direction of where the whole thing happened. It caught Luffy's attention as he was chilling next to the palm tree with the resting the back of his head on his hands.
Huh? Hey, Nami dude, what's going on?
He smiled as he approached everybody.
Can I help?
Oh, you're still here.
Whoa.
She reached out with her bloodied hand and grabbed him by the collar. She pulled him into his face and yelled,
I want nothing to do with you. Now get off this island.
He was completely shocked, scared at the angry face she had on. He'd never seen anything like it. She pushed him and causing him to fall into the ground. Nami, where are you?
Well, dude, that was not righteous.
Arlong, I'll get you, Arlong.
She ran like a sprint, like a track sprinter, hoping to catch him before it was too late.
You want your village back so bad, we little girl?
She remembered.
Very well. Bring me 100 million berries. Then I will reach your village and let you all go free. I promise. However long it takes you, I'll honor my promise.
Arlong! Arlong! She screamed out, and all the fishmen looked in her direction as she approached approached him.
Oh, my precious navigator, what's wrong? You look angry.
You sent those Navy men to steal my treasure. Why? You always said you'd die before you break your promise.
Huh? What promise did I break?
Nami grabbed Arlong the scruff of his neck. Her eyes were as sharp as daggers, ready to kill him. However, his hand grabbed her by the mouth to silence her. However, she replied to his question.
Don't treat me like a fool. You sent the Navy to steal my money.
And suddenly his hand covered her mouth. He tightened his grip and squeezed it tightly.
Oh, when did I ever break my promise? Tell me. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And the pirate crew laughed out loud as Nami's tears poured down over his hand.
Curse you, Arlong,
she thought. To which Luffy, oh my god, Luffy leaned back on the tree with his hand on his back and said,
Dude, what's her problem? That wasn't righteous.
To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Dang it, Luffy. This arc is fantastic. Oh my god. I have not experienced this level of writing in a very long time. And I've got to say, the live action did zero justice to this arc. This is phenomenal. This is wonderful. And I know that there have been time constraints, but the fact that they sacrifice some of the most important things that I have seen in these 5 chapters for a cliche of the villagers misunderstood the protagonist trope is very, very frustrating. Seriously, this is such a beautiful thing to see, man. I mean, freaking Nojiko was already ahead of the curve, and then it turned out that the villagers was able to get it out of her, the truth, while she was still a child, while Nami was still a child. But because of the way Arlong is and the situation they put them in, they were helpless. I mean, in a sense, they felt like Nami was a hostage. Even if she did agree, whether she agreed or not, they saw her as a hostage. Arlong knew it, okay? Arlong knew it, and he took advantage of it. This is way better writing than what freaking came out of that live action. I am just horrified. I am horrified. Oh my gosh. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. This is a phenomenal piece of writing I've ever experienced. Oh my gosh! And please comment down below if the other arcs get better than this, because geez, man, don't tell me that this is where it peaks and it's over. I mean, oh my gosh, man, you got this is just amazing. I mean, here we got Nami, we got Nami here right now in this in chapter 76, pushing the crew away. Like she's trying to save their lives because from her experience growing up from 10 years old to whatever age she is right now, growing up with that monster abusing her, she's scared for them. She's legitimately scared for them. She doesn't care that Luffy can bounce things off of his body, or Solo can pull off a 3 sword technique. She is legitimately scared for their lives. She is scared for their lives. She's trying to put up this front on them, but they see through it. But it's like holy mackerel, man. This is such a big deal, And we've seen what Arlong has done with the other village that Chobu came from, and that's a legitimate fear. That is a legitimate fear she's displaying, that she's got on display here, and the live action doesn't have this. It doesn't have this whatsoever. You know, they took away something that is so. I feel like that this is something that's very 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 important. Um, in in the manga, like, oh my gosh, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. The live action went cliche. The misunderstand the protagonist trope, and that's horrible because it changed the context. It changed the context of everything. This manga, what's happening here in this manga is that uh, it's going to forge. This manga is going to forge in a way like no other. Uh, 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 oh my gosh, man. Uh, it's like this is. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Hunter Zola, welcome to the show. Oh my gosh. They did good with the live action, but they sacrificed something so important with this Arlong arc. I mean, I still give the live action credit with the Clahodor thing, because it was the weakest arc. It was the weakest arc, and they did a good job. Centralizing it, focusing it, getting rid of a lot of the fat that was in that arc. But this was an arc you don't want to change. This arc particularly was not one you want to change in the live action. This is the defining moment for Luffy and the crew here, because of what's happening with Nami. We're really seeing how all these what Nami's going to be for these guys, what she's gonna mean to them, and oh my gosh, the fact that they went with a cliche trope in the live action instead of sticking with this was not impossible to translate. This was not impossible to translate into live action. You know what I'm saying? It could have been easy to centralize and focus. But this was, oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh, the live action did not do this arc justice. Oh man. This is, I mean, oh man. The villagers were in on it. They knew. But in the live action, they misunderstood. They misunderstood the protagonist and hated her for it. Even her sister didn't know the truth. That's such a cliche trope. That is such a cliche trope. Here, everybody was in on it, but they saw the big picture. A little child's life was on the line here. Oh man, and they had to go along with it in the hopes that she would succeed. I mean, look at this. Oh man. Oh, my brain hurts. My writing brain hurts. Oh my gosh, my writing brain hurts. It hurts. I mean, this is such a beautiful story here. Look at this. Eiichiro Oda knows how to do flashbacks. He really is great on flashbacks, man. This is something I'm gonna need to take notes for my works, man, for my written works, because this is just great. Oh my gosh, man. Just look at how he characterizes all of them here and at their youth, and we get to see Belmir, and we get to and we stay long enough to truly understand their situation, what they're all about. Oh man, character development. But we get to see that Nami, we even go even further back in the flashback, the flashback within the flashback, and found out where they came from. Oh my gosh, this poor girl, Nami and Nojiko, both of them, these poor girls, they don't deserve any of this. This just really makes the stakes so high, man. To save the village, to save them. Oh, dang. And let me tell you something. This is a scary panel here with Arlong showing up like this, Definitely scary. Look at this. Such a well-designed art for the boat. So distinct with the sawfish. But oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Don't mistake me. Don't mistake me, everybody. I did enjoy the live action. The live action really helped me finally get in on One Piece. You know what I'm saying? It got me. It at least got me up to speed to a point with One Piece, and got me to do the manga. But seeing the differences, oh my gosh! And then just looking at this, at this arc. This is such a this is a big arc. Look at this, man. Look at how Arlong. Look at Arlong's presence here. It's so magnanimous. He's got all the pirates lined up like that. He's so presentable to himself with his arm gestures. It's crazy. You know, he really, compared to the other pirates that we've seen so far, he's tops. He's tops in terms of villain pirates. Because look at this. Look at this. He's got conviction in it. You know, he comes in with all this conviction, and yet he's so evil and deceiving. And what, man? And then we get not only that, but over here again, the live action didn't do this justice. This is something we should have seen in the live action. You know what I'm saying? A little bit better. You know, like, oh man, this is her last stand, this big fight, and then the villagers got into the fight too, and I don't think that was in the live action. I don't remember. I'm making this comparison because my mind is blown. This is of what I'm reading here, and what I'm seeing here, you know, and the live action should have done this arc, this arc justice. You know, saying like it did its best with Clawhador. It did great with Sanji's arc. You know, it did a great job with Sanji's arc, cutting out a lot of the filler and everything, and staying straight to the point. But this arc, this is an arc that shouldn't have been messed with. This should have been. It didn't have to be beat for beat. It did not have to be beat for beat with the live action. But let me tell you something. This should have been a lot of these key points. Well, it shouldn't have been sacrificed. It should have been sacrificed for the cliche trope of the town misunderstands the hero, and the sister misunderstands the hero trope. It is cliche. It is tiring, and you sacrifice this beautiful story, this beautiful arc here, for a tired old trope, you know. But in terms of it's oh my gosh, man. And then look at this. Look at this moment. Look at this moment, man. This sad moment. More flashbacks, you know what I'm saying? Like we see how they, just like with Sanji's flashbacks where we saw his relationship with Zaf. Here we see, you know, Nochiko and Nami's relationship as children. And then to see that, to sit there and watch that traumatizing, oh man, oh my gosh, man, I'm just amazed by this. I really, really love what this arc has done. This is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful arc, and this has got to be one of the most saddest and tragic things, man. This has to be one of the saddest and tragic things. Look at this. You see a little kid. This little kid walking in the middle of the street, and how we presented with this little kid, this face. This face, man. This child is traumatized beyond all recognition, man. What did this child deserve to go through all this? You know, it was already bad enough that she lost her original family in another world alongside Nojiko from where they originally came from, but to end up losing this, you know, their only family, their only mother that they ever knew, and then Nami gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped. She didn't walk up and make a deal with them. She got kidnapped. She was literally kidnapped, and she clearly was coerced into making this deal. She was kidnapped. She was grabbed by Hachi by the neck and dragged out, and everybody tried to fight to save her. Everyone tried to fight to save her. This was a kidnapping. That's important. That is so important. That is a very important distinction. And oh man, that is a very important distinction. Just look at this. This child, you know what I'm saying, makes you want to hug Nami, man. Makes you want to hug Nami. Oh my gosh, you know, and that's when she starts delivering on that strength. This little kid, man, this little kid. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and we still got and I still got. There's still more to go. There is still more to go. Oh man, and we finally make it to the present after all that. Oh wow, and this is the messed up part. Luffy not reading the room. My man's like, like, my gosh, he's so tone deaf, man. I don't know if that's really good, because I know he could be dumb and everything, but I don't know if this was a good idea to make him come off looking tone deaf, and not seeing the situation, the big picture for what it is. I know in the live action, he does catch on and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already aware of it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the manga, but thankfully there's still more. There's still more chapters to go. So I think that I'm sure Luffy is aware of it. He just doesn't know what move to make until he understands Nami fully, and he could be able to line up with her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way Luffy kind of has been so far that I've seen. It's like he does have spatial awareness, but he doesn't do anything that can hurt his crew or risk people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking in Longshank's message, to pick your battles. Don't fight everything you see. Like he was when he was a kid. So, that's why he's so chill about it. You know what I'm saying? He's got his attention. You know what I'm saying? Everything's got his attention, but he's waiting for the right moment to really swing and fight. Which makes a lot of sense. He's very consistent with what he learned from Longshanks. And man, and of course we get to see the dark side of the Navy, actually, of the whole entire Navy. Let's see here. Here we go. Of the whole entire Navy. Where is the Navy at? Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. This whole entire crew here, man. The Navy is just really messed up. Like, nobody's questioning anything, and Nojiko is 100% correct. It's like you got this pirate here that's killing people, torturing people, and you're doing nothing about it. And we get to see the more of the Navy's corruption, which is actually in stark contrast to the live action. I think the live action did a good job showing that the Marines is morally gray. You got people like him, and then you got people like Kobe and Hamelto, which I can't wait to see them return. I like to see them return, and see what how they're depicted in the manga. Further down the line now. After all this, that'll be a fun thing to see. But this, like, you're seeing the real dark side of the Marines, and it's just so sad what they did, and as usual, and this is why I keep I'm calling out Luffy on being tone deaf. He's like, what's her problem? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure he's fully aware of everything that's going on. I'm sure he's firmly aware of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And he's just waiting for the right time to get in on the fight. He doesn't want to just jump in, blindly. Unlike Sanji, who's like ready to go to town, but Nojiko rightfully told him, you don't want to do that. Not yet. This is not the time yet. But man, this is heartbreaking. He's acting like there was no promise. It's like, oh jeez, this is evil. Arlong is pure evil. He's pure evil. And he's not even fighting for fish kind here. I'm wondering if that's going to be in the next set of chapters. Because in live action, they were like, oh, we're trying to, I'm fighting for fish kind and everything. But over here, he's just maliciously evil, flat out. Flat out villain evil stuff. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Well, there goes my tirade. There's my tirade. The live action most definitely did do a good job. I really feel like they were wrong. I feel they went in the wrong direction with Arlong. They should not have done the. I misunderstood the main protagonist. The village and sister misunderstood the main protagonist's intention and trope and cliche. Oh, we hate you because you're doing all this, but I'm keeping it secret from the village and my sister. But we completely misunderstood you. Oh my gosh, we're so sorry. It's like that's a cliche. That is a cliche and a half, and I sacrificing what happened here. What happened here was what I just read in these 5 chapters is just horrible. It's horrible, you know. The fact that the village knew because they were able to, which logically makes sense since Nojiko knew. They asked her what the heck happened here. Do you know anything? And and she did. And given the severity of the situation, they don't know what Arlong would have done to Nami if they went and revealed that they know. You know what I'm saying? Or they try to fight for her. And it's true that I think that Arlong would have killed Nami if they went after her. He wouldn't give 2 hoots. He would have done it. And so that was a hostage situation. That was hands down a hostage situation. So dang, man. Dang, they should, man. Oh, what a beautiful beautiful set of chapters I've just read, and I can't wait for the next set, man. I can't wait for the next set. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Please let me know if it stays, if it keeps going peaker and peaker and peaker. Tell me in the comments below if it's gonna peak. Just keep peaking after this, man, with the next set of arcs, because this is rocking. This is awesome. This is kick ass. Man, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, follow. You want to, and head on over to barnesandnoble.com and or amazon.com. Grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the novel, the link to the novel down in the description below, along with links to other merch like stickers and buttons, t-shirts, and music. Head on over if you're interested to participate in Patreon. You're more than welcome to. And if you want to catch all of this live and in the raw, head on over to my live multi-stream on Twitch and Kick. Just follow the names listed on there. Monday through Thursdays, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Woo! Everybody, thank you all for joining me. And until the next set of chapters, I wish you all a good night. Buenas noches. And oyasumi nasai.